Alright, so in this first tutorial, we'll take a closer look at the Assumptions tab. In this example, we'll be building a model for a service-based company operating only on the internet. Keep in mind, though, that this model can be used for any type of business. So the tab is organized into 4 sections. On the far left here, you have the actual assumptions that are used to power the model. Now most of the data is pulled from the other 3 sections, except for a few inputs here at the bottom. And the remaining sections hold the data for your various scenarios. So we have a normal scenario, or base scenario, and then we also have the slightly optimistic scenario, and then a slightly pessimistic scenario. So let's go ahead and start by entering data for the base scenario. Beginning with the revenue assumptions, let's say our business sells a freemium service as well as a premium service. The ideal situation is for users to convert from the free version to the paid version. So we're going to start with selling the premium version at $29.99. And the price will increase by 3% per year. Next, we believe that we'll get approximately 15,000 freemium customers and 10,000 premium customers in that first year. Further, we will receive increases of 5, 4, and 3% per year for freemium volume growth, premium volume growth, and conversion growth. So that's 5, 5, 5, 5. 4, 4, 4, 4, 3. You scroll down here. Alright, so now for the bad news, churn, or how many customers we're going to lose each year. This should start out around 10% and then decrease from there because our service is going to continue to get better over the next 5 years. So I'm going to do 10% for each year. 9, 9, and then we'll drop from there. So I'm going to go ahead and skip the next revenue section since we're not selling any products. So we'll move right to a few of the expense assumptions, which we'll be inputting as a percentage of sales. So starting with marketing expenses, we'll probably need to spend 10% per year for each of the marketing costs. After all, we do need to bring in customers. So let's go ahead and copy and paste that. And we also need to pay commissions and support costs. Commissions are relatively low because we pay higher salaries, while support costs should be high in the beginning but drop and settle as we build up our knowledge base and continue to prove our product. So I'll keep this at 10%, and then let's say 10, 9, 8, 7, and then 7. Okay, that's it for the first scenario. For time's sake, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and input the data for the 2 remaining scenarios. Alright, all finished. So not much changed actually, except for a few of the revenue and churn percentages. So if we scroll back to the first section, you can see that data is now being pulled into that section. So right now these figures are based on the normal scenario. And to change this, we can just use the drop down here. So when these numbers are changed, so let me change this to the optimistic. You can see some of the numbers change there. So when those numbers are changed, they filter through to the entire model. So it's super easy to conduct scenario and sensitivity analysis. Alright, let me go ahead and change this back to the base scenario. And we need to go ahead and finish inputting data on this first section here. So let me go ahead and scroll down. And you can see the remaining green colored cells here. So first, let's say hosting costs is around $9,000 a year. So next we'll look at some of the funding and financing assumptions. So we will need to get a loan up front. So let's say we have excellent credit between the two of us, so we are able to get a $200,000 loan in the first year. Oops. We also need to get another loan in the fourth year of $100,000. The interest rates on loans is quite high, but we also get a fairly decent rate on the money we have in the bank. So how about for simplicity's sake, we'll just even out all the rates to 10%. And just to note, the interest rate is calculated for these loans on a separate tab. Alright, so moving down, we're not going to pay out any dividends, but let's say that we will receive some round A funding. So let's go ahead and finish out this section here. So let's just say it's going to be $150,000. So moving along, tax rate, so that's 40% per year. And the employee benefits section is also inputted as a percentage of income. So let's say that for both full and part-time employees, recruiting, training costs are 5%, while benefits are 5% as well for full-time employees. And cost of living or inflation will be set at 3% per year. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this. Benefits. And cost of living, we said, was 3%. And finally, all payroll taxes, we'll just go ahead and set that at 7% for now. And for the balance sheet assumptions, for the average number of days it takes for us to get paid, let's say that's 5 days. And we generally pay our liabilities within 30 days. And the days of inventory is not applicable as we don't have any inventory sitting on the shelf. All right, well, that's it for now. This worksheet accounts for about 80% of the inputs in this model. So rest assured we will get to the analysis soon. Speaking of which, we'll return to the Assumptions tab later on when we begin conducting scenario and sensitivity analysis. In the next video, we'll be looking at the Revenue and Expense tabs here in the blue. Thanks for watching.